Good morning. Yes. But you need to keep your voice up so I can hear you. All right, my understanding is that you want your curfew to be changed from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m.
That's for work hours.
What place is open till 1 a.m.?
It's not that it's open till 1 a.m. It's that it closes on 11 to 12 sometimes, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to close.
2023 hours, 6, 7.
Okay.
All right, and
Today.
do you
Yeah,
have
Let me.
proof of your work hours?
I'm not good at.
Yeah, only have a job offer letter that was sent by the manager.
Okay.
All right, could I see someone from the state criminal trial division?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is Mr. Acuna. And he's requesting that his curfew be changed from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. for employment. He says that he would be working at a restaurant and they close at 11.
But he's currently on GPS.
No, they haven't been able to put GPS on him because he's on the wait list. And I know that when I place people on GPS, there's a reason. And I'm sure it's because you're young and you have this evading case. So have you looked into any other employment? Why not?
That was gonna be a quick process, and I've always been working there for like 3 years.
We're trying to track in the middle of trying to track now.
Get the job back good, get started, pay my bills.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I need from your employer. I'm going to need a detailed work schedule. And I know that sometimes when you're working, the schedule comes out on a specific date. Sometimes people ask you to work. You don't know what your work schedule is going to be. But I can't have you out and about from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. and I don't know you're actually at work. So in order for me to even consider it, I'm going to need a detailed letter from your employer.
So it'd be like a.
What you're going to have to get is you're going to have to get a letter from your employer. Your employer is going to have to give the court your work schedule. And it's going to have to show what times they're expecting you to work. And in that letter, they're going to have to tell the court why you would need to be there till 1 a.m. But if I were you,
That means you dismiss her.
I would try to see if they can put you on a morning shift or a midday shift.
You know what?
And I know people think when I put people on GPS, it's a hassle, and it is a hassle. But you can unfold your arms. But the reason why you're on GPS is because you're young and you've been doing inappropriate things,
I think it is family wise.
and it needs to stop.
But
And what I've discovered is when I put young people on GPS and I give them structure, they don't get into any more trouble. They're not hanging out with their friends. They're not doing things that would put them or other people in harm's way. You understand? And so the reason why you have your 6 p.m. curfew is because of you. But if you really want me to truly consider extending your curfew hours for work, I'm going to need a detailed work schedule from your employer. And if you would like to, your employer can Zoom in, or you can bring your employer with you to talk to me. And I will get a schedule from him. All right, do you have any questions?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, have you been UA'd? When's the last time you had a UA?
Before getting locked up, like January.
So you haven't had a UA since January? All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive, like clean.
Oh, you mean clean?
Yeah.
When we say positive here, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, negative.
This is the one time positive is a bad thing. All right. Probation, I need a UA for Mr. Kuna. He said he hasn't received a UA since January. All right, so we're gonna do a UA today, okay? Just have a seat in the courtroom. Do you need any water?
Yeah,
That's yes.
yes.
And again, I say that to you because let me just tell you a personal story about me. When I went to see a doctor for a checkup, I think I may have been maybe 4 years old. And the doctor was asking me questions and I said, yeah. My mom was so embarrassed. Afterwards, she said, Stephanie, it's either yes or no. It's not yeah, it's not uh-huh. So it's yes or no, not yeah or uh-huh, okay? All right, so just have a seat on the front row and we'll get our UA today. All right, Mr. Stewart, how are you doing?
Well, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So why is your screen blacked out when you're doing your testing?
Yeah, I'm not sure because it won't allow me to test unless it can clearly see my face. I have to be in good lighting. I did file some complaints with SmartStart that I was concerned about my device because one, it had an alarm that stopped going off. And it started acting funny. They told me as long as you're able to submit a test, we will not give you a new device. As of yesterday, they're sending me a new device.
Okay.
So I've had issues with it.
All right, and what is this marijuana issue?
Well, for the UA, I made a mistake. I didn't think it was gonna be the same.
It's an issue.
I understand.
If you test positive again, we're not going to have a compliance here. What's going to end up happening is they're going to file a motion to revoke. You're going to get arrested wherever you may be. If you bond out of jail, we'll have a hearing on your violation while you're out on bond. If you're not able to bond out in jail, we'll have a hearing on it while you're in custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so it says here that you told probation you don't have time for compliance hearings or to do any additional programs because you're the sole provider of your family. You can't be taken off of work.
To what?
No, this is what the notation I have here. It says that you inform the officer, which is your probation officer, that you don't really have time for compliance hearings or to do any additional programs because you're the sole provider of your family and you can't be taken off of work. All right, because here's the thing, we can have a compliance hearing or a motion to revoke can be filed. So either way, you're going to be taken off of work. You understand?
Yes.
All right, and thanks for dressing appropriately for court. All right. All right, and if you're drug tested today, is it still going to be positive? When's the last time you used?
It was before that. And I've tested clean every time.
When's the last time you had a UA?
Right at the end of October. I'm testing monthly now.
Okay.
I just saw aggravated robbery.
Those will be with Mark.
Christopher Reyes and Malika Estrada.
When's your next time to report to your officer?
December.
Okay.
I might be wrong on that. I'm sorry. I know it's a Friday. It's the first week in December.
All right, you are excused. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Yeah, folks.
Hello, Mr. Garcia.
I don't have
All right, what is wrong with your home visits?
No, I just have one discussion with him whenever they approach the house. My neighbor's been complaining, saying, "Neighbor, what's going on? Why are these officers approaching your house the way they're approaching it. And so it was kind of embarrassing, so.
All right, could everyone please whisper?
So I had addressed my neighbors. I'm all like, I don't know, they're looking for somebody. I don't do that. And so anyways, when they came to visit my home, I said, listen, I don't mind not coming out. I mean, because it's my requirement for probation. I said, it's by the judge, which is fine. I said, but y'all need to come in the evenings because I get off work at 6, and by the time I get home, like 7:30.
Well, let me ask you this. Why was the home in such a state of disarray? And they described it as a complete mess.
No, it was not, man. I was having a conversation with them, and it seems to me that the supervisor that was there, he has visited my house numerous of times, and there was no issues. And I talked to him, like, I just told him, I said, listen, y'all are standing in each corner of the house, like if somebody's gonna run out. I said.
Well, that's the way they do it,
Yeah,
and that's the way they have to do
I
it.
did not know that was a safety protocol, and I
Yes.
said, I understand that because of the fact that some homes they do visit probably are a lot different than my household. But I told him, I said, listen, y'all came out numerous of times already, and y'all met my family. I mean, I don't have no issues. I never did have any issues. I told him, I said, but we already met. It's like,
No, I ordered this.
no,
Yeah.
this is me talking to them.
Okay.
I said, we already met. I mean, I said, I just wish y'all would just, like, come to the door and like, we're here, like, it's like, and that's it. And that's all the discussion I have with them. And then I'm all like, well, we're here right now. Like, you know what, forget it. You talk to the judge and you tell the judge that. And I'm all like, I was gonna come see you until the supervisor requested for me to go inside of probation and go talk to him.
Mhm.
And I talked to him too. I said, listen, I said, I know it's under it's that's what the judge ordered, which is fine. I don't have no problem. I did not know it was a safety protocol the way it works. Now I'm all like, okay, that's fine.
All right.
I
So
understand
here's the
that.
thing. I say that there are 9 people living in the home, 3 underage children,
Yes, ma'am.
2 other adults, and all of them are on probation for the same charge.
This is 3. Yeah, three of those. Yes, ma'am.
So technically, when you're on probation, you're not allowed to be around other people who are on probation.
Well, that's my wife and my.
I know.
Yeah. and
No,
we-
I understand,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
those are the rules.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fact that you're being allowed to live in a home with other people on probation,
I got you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
now you've been on probation since September
Yes, ma'am.
2021.
Yes, ma'am.
We are now in 2022, about to go into 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
You owe $121,000 in restitution.
Yes, ma'am.
And in all of that time, you've only paid $672.
I got a mortgage I gotta pay and I got kids too.
No, I understand that,
Yes,
and they're
ma'am.
children.
we're
And guess
money.
what? The people that you took $127,000 from, they have a mortgage, they have children, they gotta eat, they want their money back. And I don't know why people think that you can steal from other people and take $100,000 or $200,000 and then say, well, I gotta eat. Because the people you stole money from have to eat. They have a mortgage to pay. And what if they're dependent on you to pay your restitution to them so that they can eat and they can pay their mortgage and they can take care of their children, and you're not doing that? So you're going to be put on a payment plan and you're going to follow that payment plan. I know you should have been able to pay more than $672 since September 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
And if there are 3 adults living in that home, then they should be splitting the costs. And if none of them are carrying the weight as far as helping with mortgage, helping with food, helping with all of the expenses for the home, then maybe they need to go, because then maybe they're just dead weight. And that's for the adults, not the children. They're child labor laws. They can't work. But people, the other adults in that home should be working.
I stress every day about the restitution. I'm not trying to avoid it, ma'am.
Well, I mean, you're stressing about it, but
It's hard. It's really is.
of course it's hard.
I'm trying to get another job.
But it was
so that I can
easy to
pay-
steal.
I'm trying to get another job so that way I can contribute towards the restitution. I have been trying, but they're not just, once they look at the background, they're just not. following.
Oh, I see signs everywhere. And you know what the problem is? The problem is sometimes people don't want to work in certain places because they consider it beneath them. Like you can do construction, you can work at Subway, you can work at McDonald's. And I'm telling you, McDonald's need a lot of workers now because it's the final farewell tour of the McRib. They say it's not coming back. So there are things that you can do. And you haven't even been paying $100 a month. So you're telling me you could not even pay $100 a month. That's unacceptable.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to sit down and you're going to come up with the budget and you're going to be paying that per month towards this $121,000 that you owe. You understand? Probation on Mr. Robert Garcia. He needs to come up with a budget and he needs to pay something every month to restitution. So that's what's going to happen with that. Your conditions of probation are going to be amended. And you're going to be on intensive supervision. So they'll be able to visit your home in the evenings.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to have a curfew. If you're not working, you need to be at your house.
Yes, ma'am.
So on Mr. Garcia, he's going to give you a budget and he's going to pay something at least every month towards this restitution. I'm going to alternate main conditions for ISP so that they can do visitations in the evenings. And he has a curfew. And his curfew is going to be 7 p.m. unless he is at work. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. And I understand that people don't want everybody to know that I'm on probation or have people approaching the house in a certain way, but that's a part of being on probation.
I've been drug testing, come out clean. There have not been any issues with my status as far as me being on probation. He just had told me, the supervisor had told me, well, maybe we could recommend him coming out twice a month to see you for 6 months. So that way we could tell the judge that, you know, he's been compliant and none of the issues with them. So that way it would just be random instead of being like every month. That's what he approached me where we were gonna come see you today. I didn't know it was, you know, gonna be so aggressive towards whatever he said or whatever the statement was on there.
Oh, we're not aggressive in court.
No, I'm saying on as far as what the statement was and what they reported.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. You two just sit on the front row.
Yes, ma'am.
Like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m.
He's allowed to work. So the exception to the curfew is work. But so find out what his work schedule is in the morning and give him an hour before. And then he needs to be home by 7 p.m. unless he's working. All right. Thank you.